Okay, let's not. Yeah, this week's gonna be pretty busy, isn't it? Because it's just gonna be hella busy. An exam this week, quite a bit of studying. Thankfully, this entire weekend, outside of like what Saturday, I'm completely off. So I'm here. Let's take a look at what we have thus far. Like by now, we've pretty much gotten used to seeing these six, especially later on down the line. I'm not used to fucking Ludicolo being fucking gold. It should be like the darkish greenish color. It's vibrant. It's cool. But yes. I did have to recount as well, so it's 41, not 40 like I thought it was. So at least on the 17 shiny Pokemon that I'm going after. I think most of them, I think the most of the remaining ones are legendaries. And I'm not looking forward to like two of them. The rest are whatever. But two of them I am not looking forward to. Mostly because of the teams that they're attached to. You may also notice that some of them are evolved, because some of them were just stone evolutions. I'll see if I can get to doing some of them. Some of the rest of them, anyway. Because, yeah, that's probably not going to be until post-game if I have to take a gander. This is the only one that had a stone evolution, but I don't have a water stone. Lion still looks nice, though. Even if it's not the same purple that I'm used to. They're the same as ever. Aerodactyl, I'm still not used to that purple. And I wish the spikes on Metang and Metagross and such, were actually golden and not just plain white like they are normally. Avatar was a pain. You were kind of a pain. You took hardly any time at all, and I also prefer this over the lime puke green that we got with shiny Suzo normally. I'll get to you. That's not the blue you're normally supposed to have, but I like that color nonetheless. And you're supposed to have purple and black roses, not the... Another one that's kind of an issue. You're just kind of just green. The shiny collection. I mean, there's not much left that we have to do for the remaining shiny Pokemon I'm going after. So that's kind of why I have two boxes. Because I'm not insane enough to go for each and every single one. I do like this one. Venus is the same as ever. I'm pretty sure that's not quite accurate, but I still like this one. You're supposed to be greenish. Absolutely, you're fine. You were also a pain. Game Boy, Gengar, you've been the most easiest so far. Yeah, you'll see that a lot. Some of the sounds like better. Yeah, that's kind of the common theme you'll see with both Coliseum and XD Gale Darkness. Like some of them, like Metang, Staryu, Roselia, and Lapras don't look the way that they're supposed to. And the ones that don't look the way that they're supposed to, like Gengar, actually look better. But then you have stuff like Magikarp or the starter Pokemon that actually look like what they're supposed to. Or you get something like Numel. I don't think it's supposed to have that pink. I think pretty sure this is back. This is the only thing that's supposed to change color, but okay. I'll get the Dragonite when I can be bothered to. Oh, another thing that I also don't remember is that Quilava and Typhlosion shinies, they actually have a different color for their flames, even though they're not supposed to. But it's actually pretty cool nonetheless. What is that? So the whole box is 30. That's 35. Yep, that's 41. That is 41 that we currently have. And speaking of Lapras, since that was when I was last shiny hunting during last stream, I did eventually get the Lapras, but not before seeing the shiny Hitmonlee. Because of course I did. Of course I saw Hitmonlee before Lapras. I don't have anything in here? I don't think so. Nope. After how many soft resets? Let me double check actually, because I don't remember. I've been keeping track of the resets as well. And we're gonna have a massive tally at the end of this trip anyway. The Lapras in particular took me what? 214 I put down. The Hitmonlee, I think, took me 165. And it's like, that's not the one that... I know you took a break at once. Yeah. I'm not. Still not. Little over odds. Trust me. So many of these have been over odds. So many, in fact, I don't even... Oh yeah, the shiny Numel. That took me 234. And that was after I soft reset it on accident on the shiny Numel. So that took me longer. And that became the fourth Pokemon I soft reset it on. I was really hoping that it sucked. Saying that it's back supposed to be blue. Yeah, that's the only thing that's supposed to be changed. And you'll see camera up as well. It's supposed to be black, but it's actually like a darker red. Now, I'll keep that Word document up. Do you want to know what we're hunting next? It's gonna be a bit before we get to it. But, yeah, no, it's Walrein. It's Walrein. I was hoping I wanted to get the rest of the island, but then I remembered I can't without making progress. Thinking if you can load actually save file NeXt if possible, you might be able to trade to the GBA games. No, because you would have to not only change where you got the Pokemon, you would also have to change its movesets, since a lot of moves have been changed from base XD to XG Next Gen. It's a big old can of worms that I don't think it's worth doing. Do you think Pokemon would do a promotional thing for the live action monster? It would either crash or just give you a missing note. I'm sorry, I have no idea what that is. Thank goodness that I'm not getting to wall rain in a bit. Because we still have a few things that I want to do first. Is a better Barbie franchise. That's one way to put it. Oh no, I forgot. Shit. Yeah, you're gonna fucking explode. Yeah, I don't trust. Actually, no, I didn't even trust Pokemon Bank. I only used it for a bit. I didn't use Pokemon Home because of the way they have it all set up just to transfer your Pokemon. Some of which you can't even use in the kind of gym. As far as I'm concerned, it's just legal legal ransomware. Are you Pokemon Eevee trained? Yes, they are. That's also why you might see them at a higher level, because I had to do some stuff off screen as well. It's not all due to shiny hunting. I think the only ones that I did bother to Eevee trade were the team that I currently have, Umbreon and Swellow. Yeah, don't you know how? You're gonna fucking explode. I'm gonna hate it. Or you're just gonna keep using that the entire time. I mean, it's great that you're using it for something. I just don't trust. I really wish I had something that had like damp. Probably enough Swampert could have had damp. But I really wanted to make a rain team, so I didn't. Don't tell me you're gonna explode. It's really just gonna use that healing item, okay. If it was being a protective father, it would have used Follow Me instead. That's a word salad. To be fair, it's mostly because I haven't been watching too much television and I'm not too interested. I stopped watching television a long time ago. It's something I do not care to get back into. I don't know why I'm paranoid that you're gonna explode. I just don't want to have to fail catching the damn thing, only to have to wait for Mirror B to show his ass up. That's why. Not that I've had many Pokemon just take a long time to snag anyway. Granted, that's because I'm putting them to sleep. But still. Sword of the Fire. Bad times where I do hate that have like minutes long it's fun. I feel like this should have been at least a comma or a period between those. This is kind of where it's losing me. And I kind of wish I had consumed a bit. Well, consuming is a bit of a bad word, because I don't like the context of things being like, oh, they're consumers. Oh, this is not something I consume. That implies that you're not thinking about what you're intaking, what you're watching, what you're reading through, etc. That's kind of why I'd rather not use that term. Because we're not particularly base beings like that. We're smarter than that, I would like to think. Stop people from being stupid. No, you're fine. It's just that, to me, it reads wrong because I'm too used to writing in that sort of things. Well, we're gonna have a sins counter. Just get Try 5 doing everything wrong with the Pokemon NeXt. Why do they have dried boxes of Pokefood inside the facility? If they're making food... I cannot speak. Like, they care just enough to put crates of food for the Pokemon that they're trying to transform, but they don't care enough to stop what they're doing. I mean, no, this is bad. Like, at least the SS Libra made sense. The entire cargo of that ship carried a shit ton of Pokemon power. Pokemon they likely used to make into Shadow Pokemon in the first place. Nice. Oh, jeez. I can honestly say I'm not entirely sure Char 5 should do sins, or even though Jeremy does put a lot of sins onto films, Jeremy's war for good animation gets a little emotion. You know, I mentioned Char 5 because he's done everything wrong with on. Oh, he does. He does more on like the story. Like he specifically mentions that he doesn't like talking about like game mechanics or that sort of thing unless it's relevant to the sins that he's mentioned. So he primarily focuses on like the story elements and that sort of thing that would be relevant to make sense of. The only games that he's done where he kind of goes off on like the controls or the overall game is the ones that are particularly bad. Have you ever seen his recent videos? Yes! Granted, a lot of it, most of the most recent things that he's done has been the playing every Sonic game before Frontiers comes out, his reaction videos. He hasn't done too many everything wrong with recently. He does talk about the story. He does though. Like he specifically mentions that he doesn't really like go over gameplay all that much because there are some things that people like that he doesn't, and vice versa. His most recent Everything Wrong With was Cuphead. Cuphead which, might I add, doesn't have that much story other than, Cuphead Mugman made a deal with the devil, and they have to collect contracts for him. They didn't even talk about the story. Because there's hardly any story to Cuphead. That's a bad example. He didn't talk about the story because there's hardly a story to Cuphead. So the only other thing that he could talk about was the gameplay. Yes, I know about the Delicious Last Course DLC. Doesn't change the fact that there wasn't that much story to it. And I'm pretty sure he also mentioned stuff about the DLC in that video. And again, with stuff like Sonic the One, you didn't talk about the story either. Psst. Mate, we're talking about games that are 3 decades old that also don't have much of a story. Like, outside of what? Dr. Eggman? I'm pretty sure he didn't. I think it's more of a case of it's one of those games that he hadn't played until recently because Cuphead has made that sort of resurgence due to the DLC and the TV show. I don't think that was something that he had in the back burner for. Also, I forgot to say. Anyway, I was mentioning Sonic Origins. Like, that was pretty much a collection of games that are 3 decades old. Now we go to Brothers of the game to play about finding your Wolverine. Because Wolverine isn't going to be until the next peon that I fight. It's gonna be a bit before we actually get to Wolverine. So we're doing this instead. Not to mention, I didn't have too much to go off on about the Sin stuff. You're smart. You're smart, Needle Queen. Alright, forgot to take off the fucking XP shit. I'll do it after this. Also, I wasn't saying we should get a sins counter, I just felt like asking it that way. I know. And I wasn't going to, by the way. It would be really silly if I did. Because it would make practically no sense. I'm not doing a Sins video, nor do I intend to. Like, I think I'd much sooner make a Sins video for Dingo Pictures than I would for any movie or game that I just so happen to look at. I mean, that is kind of interesting. It's interesting, but I'm probably not gonna look at it anytime soon. Not that I wanted to go back to Switch anyway. Too many blunders and too many mistakes, especially in the past week. The thing is, I was going to move on over to Twitch, but like, because I do have a Twitch channel, I just haven't touched it in forever, because don't really have much of a reason to go to it. I hate to say it. No. I feel like that's mainly because he was getting hit. It's not really. Ah, shit. This is terrible. Nope, never mind. You hit the wrong target. No. Let's get the least painful. Actually, no. Let's get the biggest pain in the ass out first. Also, the headache animation for Psyduck. You tell me they couldn't use that for when it gets hit instead of the rolling back? Also, the fact that these people can have 3 shadow Pokemon on their team, don't give a fuck about this. I mean, yes and no. Like, Twitch has the better stuff for streaming, but unless you already have a platform of an audience to go off of, you can't really grow on Twitch, let alone do anything substantial to grow an audience on Twitch unless you already have a niche or something that you consistently do, which I do not. Not by a long shot. I forgot you're the one with Shadow Ship. Fuck. I forgot. My oh my, if it isn't the consequence of my own actions. You're an ass. I mean, as for this movie, you're constantly doing this so you can probably get people. Yes, but it's probably not going to last all that long. Did I not yawn that? Oh no, it hadn't stopped. No, it didn't. Did it? But no, I'm not. Right. I mean, I've been doing this because I haven't really shiny hunted an NeXt Gale of Darkness. But as soon as I'm done with this playthrough altogether, which won't be until I'm done Ori Coliseum. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be doing shiny hunting all that much. Did it say it had insomnia? Because I might have missed that. It might be because I had insomnia, and I didn't notice. Jesus Christ. Wait, no, why did I bring you back? Wait, no, I can... How am I doing? I have Nuzzle. What am I doing here using Yawn on something that possibly has insomnia when I can just use Nuzzle? Yes, because we definitely have feelings for the Pelican for one of the oldest yet one of the worst animations. Well, thanks for telling me, not that that matters much. I'm gonna keep shuffling. I don't trust the bayonet. Almost said bayonet. Did not kill the fucking one. Damn. Interesting as that is, I'm not that particularly interested in Boo. I definitely grew up with it. Then again, there was a lot of things I grew up on. Some of which I don't remember, because they were very old at the time. There was also a amount of time when we didn't really own stuff. We kind of just rented it out. You know, back when there was a Blockbusters. I'll say this though, at the very least, it's not another Pinocchio movie. Because for some reason, even though there's gonna be a really good one that's gonna be coming out in November, December, Disney thought it would be a good idea to release another live action movie, rather. And then there's that cursed one from, I think it was Germany, the German animation of Pinocchio. That's something I definitely need to remember for some reason. Live action Pinocchio is already on Disney Plus. I know. I was just mentioning it because comparison. Because seriously, I don't think I've seen any IP or property for that matter get as many more adaptations since its release, since the animation, as Pinocchio. It's kind of like how Crash of the Titans got as many ports as it did, even though the game itself wasn't very good at all. Yeah, they had ports for the fucking Game Boy, the DS, the PSP, the very old mobile phones. Like, we don't need... Okay, yeah, it is this next one. Okay. Not sure there's a good way to compare a roll cake. I don't know where he lands. I'm going to tippy toe until I find where he lands. Probably that corridor. Okay. I want to be as close to it as possible without blocking it as close as possible. I want you to mean the life of Pinocchio. I will never watch that Royal Crew movie regardless of what anyone says. I feel like at that point it's more of a curiosity more than anything. Really? I don't think I would willingly watch the Pinocchio movie, the live-action Pinocchio. If Disney can't even make one good live-action movie, besides Alice in Wonderland, but that was how many years ago? No. I don't trust it as far as I can throw it. Shoot the disc or the DVD. At that point, you're just wasting that person's money. The very least you could do is watch it before throwing it away. Lady and the Tramp one was just forgettable to me. Like, just straight up forgettable. Let's not forget, at this point onward, with a few exceptions, that it's multiple Pokemon that are Shadow and not just the one that I'm going after. So it could very well be Glalie, it could very well be Cloyster, it could very well be fucking Citation of Popular Children. I mean, Citation of Popular Children's characters. Even though Pinocchio kind of foots the bill for that, because it was never technically a kid's figure. At least the original novel wasn't. Really? They're both trying to freeze. Okay. Yep. Know the drill at this point. Either fortunately or unfortunately. Here we go. Guess who's back? Back again. The speed up. Oh, jeez. Even though this has practically a full team, at the very least, it's not going to be as much of a pain in the ass to do. And the only reason I'm muting the game volume is because I don't want to hear the game being at 3 times the speed. What does it mean instead? Just this. Just this. know. Every time I see the speed up thing, I feel like this is pre-recorded footage of the game. No, it's because I don't want to use the speed up option on Dolphin. That's pretty much the only reason why. Because there is an option in Dolphin to disable like the speed limit, but I really don't want to do that. Also, did you realize your thumbnail you're looking at Shiny Dragonair? No, I didn't realize. It was just that because I put Dragonair as part of the B-roll. Like, I just had Dragonair as part of the B-roll in the beginning of the stream, alongside the Lapras. Oh my god, you fucking kidding me. Come on now. Oh right, you've been protecting, that's why you're not putting me to sleep. Twice in a row got frozen. Another CinemaSync reference. Presenting Plus Slay doesn't eat an apple, because it's already an asshole. No, we should give him an apple anyway, because he's being quite the asshole. I'll switch it out. This isn't taking a while. I feel like the director didn't want him to have an apple. And give him the apple anyway. Just give him the apple anyway. He's got the mouth for it. You could probably eat the whole thing whole for all I care. If there's a fruit in the Pokemon world that looks like an apple and it has it, then I'll look for him being an asshole. Oh, so basically, Appleton or Flapple or Applin. That's basically the apple Pokemon. He's nothing but mouth. Correct. But at that point, why would you need the apple? Just eat like a building or some shit. The thing that has very shite accuracy, because I don't want to be put to frozen again. Against for the people behind Sword and Shield. The director said, let's make green evolution. That's an apple. Oh yeah, the sweetened, what was it, the tart apple and the sweet apple? I know one of them's the tart apple. I don't remember if the other one is the sweet apple. It's kind of a shame that the only other Pokemon that's actually based off of, like, a fruit is quite literally the other, like, the one regular Pokemon It's a dragon. A dragon type, that's an apple. Yeah. Sweet gives you Appleton, Tart gives you Flapple. Isn't it also a shame that the two Pokemon that are based off of apples are unfortunately bad? It's like some of the more interesting Pokemon that I like just so happen to be bad Pokemon. Say a little about Glalie. I actually like Glalie as a Pokemon. But it is absolutely garbage. Nature Beast. Why not? I mean, actually, yeah, why not? It's not like that's out of the ordinary. We're talking about creatures that are basically based off of real life things. If not outright real life animals. I don't think it's out of the ordinary to have that be the case. A lot of them are typed with grass or ice and rock, ground, water, any of those concepts. How would they have the capacity to leave 1 and 2 and have gas? Because most of them aren't even real animals. They're based off of real animals. Like, you get things like deers, foxes, pterodactyls, even though that's an ancient fucking dinosaur. Actually, no, it's not a dinosaur. I forgot. Whales, walruses, fish. Really, it's really based off an animal. It's a mineral. Also, I don't think you mean Galilee. I think you mean Glalie. But I'm talking about things that are actually based off of animals, not something like Glalie, which is based off of a mineral, or something you would see in like a cave that's encased in ice or some shit like that, or just straight up a mask, whichever way you want to take it. I'm talking about like Ninetales, for example. Which, yeah, that's a fox. We got a mudfish, we got a pelican, excuse me. I'm talking about actual animals, not whatever the hell Glalie is. Please do it. Fucking freeze me. Actually, I got a stupid idea. I have a very stupid idea. Oh, no, never mind. It probably wouldn't work. What I was thinking, right? Since you can't really alter when you can change the Pokemon to be shiny or the stats, whatever, as soon as you encounter it. I was thinking if you could, like, encounter, like, the main shadow Pokemon that you don't want to be shiny, and then only soft reset for the one that you haven't seen yet that you do want a soft reset for. But that's probably going to be a bit more effort than what's probably worth. Because we have to first see Glalie and then fucking Cloyster. For one. And two, we would have to get back to actually getting to the point where we would see Wally. It's one turn off. Did I not put you to sleep? No, I did. I am not paying attention, apparently. Yeah, I think that would be a bit more effort than it was probably worth. And for all I know, if I do... Actually, I don't know. Let me see, I don't really know. I haven't really shiny hunted any other, like... The N64 music wouldn't work for this. I mean, considering that some of these models were Pokemon Stadium 2 models, we could just put up Pokemon Stadium 2. The only other thing that I could think of, right, is putting up fucking dingo pictures and just having the insane shit going in the background while this happens. But I'm not insane enough to be doing that. Not at all. I think if I try to do that, I think I've truly gone fucking insane. It eventually says Stadium. Well, it's mainly generations 1 and 2 that are from Stadium, like Cloyster. But also because I don't really remember that much of Stadium or Stadium 2's soundtrack. Does this motherfucker have skill link? son of a bitch. Never mind, lately doesn't suck all that much. So if your voice was ever slow, would you have an automated voice speak for you on stream? No, I probably just wouldn't stream. I would much prefer being in a good condition before I would consider streaming. My well-being matters more than content creation. Especially since I'm not really doing this for money. It's not even monetized. I will say this though. The amount of times that I'm constantly tired doesn't help the fact that throughout I kind of have such low energy throughout. Mostly because I'm way more mellow out in general than I am. I want to say more than I am with friends. With friends is whatever. We kind of just do whatever, kind of do our own thing. Plus, it's probably quite a bit of a different energy from being in the comfort of my own home than if I were to be outside. Not necessarily because of work, but also because of the environment in which I'm around. TV shows, what's your favorite kind of plot? Afraid for episodes of the baby and even those that do more focus on one character and place the especially if it's a group. I feel like to me that kind of helps more with a certain character development for someone that hasn't had that much screen time, or to see things from their perspective. But I generally prefer plots where there is a redemption arc of some kind. Kind of show the humanity of even the worst kind of people. To an episode of Little Einstein that focused on Leo's little end. I cannot say actually no, I do know of Little Einsteins. It's just I don't really Oscar series my first tale maybe the cat wanted to do Chloe. But then we went back to her old self. All because she classified Ladybug as a police for not letting her join in on the missions. Now I'm talking about, I mean like, actual redemption arcs where the character changed for the better throughout the whole series. Not the one-time redemptions. Where the character like changes for like one episode, and then by the next time they just revert back to their old selves. That's one thing about the sort of redemptions that I cannot stand. But at that point, you're not really these are not paying attention. I don't need you to be frozen. I'm just glad it's no longer summer. Oh shit. Also means I'm still waiting very slowly for it to be even remotely cooler. I'm not a big fan of the fact that my room still gets as hot as it does. The biggest thing about protagonist that can get a redemption like. I mean, oh, it got to reset. I feel like there's only half true. It's only half true because for like what, the first movie, for like the first half of it, if not more, Lightning McQueen kind of does act like a massive dick to everyone around him because he just wanted to get back to doing what he was doing. And he thought he was big shit. A big shot. And that sort of behavior kind of does stick around until like, what, 3/4 of the movie? After he learned about Doc Hudson's past achievements and seeing how the actual career that he's pursuing treated Doc Hudson when he came back. Not exactly a good look for him to still think that he still has what it takes to be big. And then seeing what happened to Hudson. It's like, oh, that's a big shock to him. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that he kind of makes that turnaround and redemption near the end of the movie. I don't think it's impossible for someone like McQueen to be redeemable, but it's probably going to take a bit more of a shock to reality for someone like him to make that redemption. You know what? Since it is Cars, I feel like that whole storyline could have been told without the fact that they're cars. And I did see like a video discussing like whether or not Cars itself is bad from the get-go. And as like a movie, it's not really like a bad movie. Oh, he's an asshole to Mater because Mater keeps fucking up like Lightning McQueen's representation. Like all throughout, Mater tries to help Lightning McQueen, but ends up making an ass out of both him. Out of an ass out of himself and Lightning McQueen. I understand that he probably could have been lighter on Mater, but at the same time, Mater wasn't really doing either of them any favors. Kinda hard to justify Mater's actions, especially during the context of the film. Not to mention, the second film was a piece of shit to begin with. As interesting as the whole between petroleum for the cars thing was, the way the movie represents itself as being the main focus for Mater, a comic relief that has no business being the main character, I feel like that shouldn't be the case at all. It's kind of why they're called comic reliefs from the drama. Mater being the main focus kind of takes away the whole purpose as to why Lightning McQueen was even there. And you blame him? The sequel wasn't particularly good. It had a lot of issues. Issues that the first movie didn't really have, because there was at least a purpose to it. Not to mention, Mater wasn't the sole focus. Well, the comic relief wasn't the sole focus of the movie. And there's rarely even a case where the comic relief being the focus actually is a benefit to the story. Kind of like how Sheen from Jimmy Neutron had his own show. And he was the comic relief of Jimmy Neutron. He had no business having a show of his own, but he had one anyway. And the quality of the show wasn't all that great either. Or even just episodes where the comic relief was the focus. I really feel like the only way is going to be a reasonable time to do these sort of resets is if they lead off with roll rate. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Fucking why not? Taylor, that's not going to try counting either. Christ. Jesus Christ on a pogo stick. Ultimately, I just fucking missed. You have fucking Snowveil. Of all things to have, you have Snowveil. Or you just randomly have a breakdown. You have a breakdown. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I fucking missed you. I was about to say, how many times are you gonna get frozen? Looks like they have to take a Pikachu. Oh, you can't go in the game. Available up on the spin-off game. I think you forgot another moniker. The only movie based off of a game that was actually good, besides the Sonic movie. Because remember, there was the Mario movie that came out back in the 1990s. There was the... there was Pixels. And that was based off of multiple games. There was Wreck-It Ralph, even though that's not based off of a singular game. Just a movie based off of, like, a game setting and shit like that. I actually like Pikachu, Detective Pikachu. It was actually a great film. A couple of designs were uncanny, but it was still fun. Nonetheless. But the real franchise did spawn several games. So did other movie-based, game-based movies. I think I'm forgetting one of them. I think it was World of Warcraft, or... I forgot which one it was that also had a movie. Am I just thinking Assassin's Creed? Probably. Franchise speak to text. How do you get real from Ralph? Eh? I didn't say real, I said Ralph. I'm not even speaking text-to-speech. How did you know the Green Eggs and Ham story had a movie before it had NeXt? That shit had a movie. Okay. I'm gonna have to stop right there. Why the fuck are we giving movies to properties that are, that are basically short stories to begin with? Green Eggs and Ham is a short-ass story. How do you make a movie out of something so fucking simple? Like the Grinch and Cat in the Hat? The Cat in the Hat is one thing, right? The Grinch, however, I can actually see being like a film. Out of any Dr. Seuss story, The Grinch seems like the closest one to actually be a film. Its original series over the book itself. That's some cap if I've heard it. Ah, shit. Because the book itself, never mind the fact that it was short, it didn't spend any more time than it needed to be. Like, what exactly can you do in a Netflix original out that you couldn't do with a book? No. Great things under the original take of the book, the universe of Jim Carrey. No. The Jim Carrey one was not it was not good in the slightest. Neither was the Illumination one. Neither of them were good. Like, literally just the short animation of the Grinch. It's iconic. Songs available was actually catchy. The story was short, so it didn't spend more time than it needed to. It had everything that you needed from an animated adaptation of a short story. The Jim Carrey film had quite a bit of filler where there didn't need to be. And Illumination, yeah, that's just Illumination. There's nothing good I can say about Illumination other than they exist. Like, there's so many things wrong. How about you just text out your stuff? Not to sound rude, but it really seems like you could just type your stuff instead of using text, speech to text. No, they're bad at both. They're really bad at both. And that's not to say, oh, they're not competent. The animation is just competent enough to be a passing grade, but the animation doesn't surpass anything more than just basic animation. It's derivative in a sense that I wouldn't want to watch it more than once if I did have to watch it. In the storytelling, well, I'm afraid I'll have to point you to Minions and I want you to tell me how that's any good with storytelling. At least Despicable Me try to do storytelling, even though I think the first one is the only thing derivative they have is stick with like the best thing Toy Story but with animals. But like, that's not unique though. You can do that with anything, not just Toy Story or Secret Life of Pets. That's just the basic premise of what is X thing doing when you're not around. That sort of thing that's been around for decades at this point. You don't need to be derivative of an existing movie for it to kind of be derivative. It could be any sort of premise, any sort of plot line that kind of apes something that would otherwise be original. I'm talking about the animation. I mean by the fact that they're so simple that it doesn't really do anything for you. It's just kind of there to exist. If I want to watch an animated movie, I'm watching it for a lot of different things. besides the story, besides the quality of the animation. I'm talking about what they did with the technology that's available. If it's anything groundbreaking, if it's anything like unique to that art style that's worth watching through. Illumination doesn't do any of that for me. It really doesn't do that for anyone, really. Because of how simple the animation is, it doesn't do much for you. Because of how much they copy paste, especially with movies like Sing. Sing was torn to shreds because of how much they copy pasted. That's not supposed to happen. What the fuck? Weren't they supposed? Eight. You know the fun fact about there's the clusterfuck because all the movies are two different series that they have. Yes. Like both Madagascar and the fucking penguins of Madagascar. Funnily enough, that's kind of what they did with fucking. Actually, no. Back in the Barnyard had like one movie, and then the rest of it was just the animated series. But seriously, I do think you should start typing your stuff instead of using speech to text, considering how much of it, because of how much of it is kind of not making sense, and the fact that the amount of times you had to edit out responses and stuff like that. Oh, there's more than that. Let me tell you, it's a clusterfuck. I don't doubt that it is. I don't doubt that it is. Oh no, it's already young. Then there's the opening of the Penguin from Madagascar 2. I have a feeling I have a feeling that Netflix kind of I feel like a lot of the stuff I haven't really heard because I stopped following Netflix a long time ago. They've kind of been not there for me as a streaming service. Not to mention, they've been making bad decision after bad decision. They didn't do that. Here's my question, and this is a genuine question. Why in God's name did they make so much of Madagascar when they don't even need that much for Madagascar? There are series that don't even make it past season 1 or 2. I wouldn't call it a clusterfuck. I just think they're doing too much with it. People like the franchise enough, apparently. They need better taste in medium. That's all I'm gonna say. They need better taste in actual quality media. Because Madagascar ain't it, Chief. It has never been it. I also feel like it doesn't take that much to be greenlit on Netflix anyway, considering how many good shows that they did have, either getting canceled or only lasting for one season. And then we get stuff like this, or Netflix original movies and stuff that's like, what? Fucking Selfie from Hell, that's kind of shit. Cuties, which was a disastrous disgrace. No, it's just not. I feel like if anyone's looking back through this, they're probably gonna look at the fucking Madagascar rant that we're going through, and it's like, what does this have to do with anything? I didn't ask for a fucking rant on Madagascar. out of all franchises as well, to make a rant on as well. Considering there have been other franchises that people have ripped into shreds. I damn cheese daily Pokemon. Like, why are these people talking about Madagascar to the Pokemon? I'm just pointing that out because I think it's hilarious. I generally just think it's hilarious. What about the Dragons franchise and the separate for its original? With those two kids, does that count? I don't know. This should be titled movies. No, because YouTube doesn't really have the categories that Twitch kind of does. The only categories that they do have is for gaming. And in all fairness, right? This wasn't what I had in mind when I just wanted to do shiny hunting. It just came out of left field because fucking why the hell not at this point? And it's also kind of eating up an amount of time each soft reset does. They don't really care about titles, though. Why else would they be looking at a video? Like, the first thing people are going to see is a thumbnail. The second thing is probably going to be the title of the video. And in all fairness, right? Out of all Pokemon that I'm shiny hunting, it probably couldn't be Walrein. Because I didn't think about the fact that, I have to go through 3 separate checks. Because there's also Glalie and fucking Cloyster. And it's not like I'm going to be using Walrein either. Or Armaldo, which will also be the other one that I'm going for. But what I will go after is fucking Gardevoir. Because even though that's like 3 shinies in one, not 3 shinies, 3 shadow Pokemon in one fight, I've never gotten a shiny Gardevoir in the GameCube games. Ways to take a lot of hits. They also have snow warning in this, which is also why I wanted to get it. One of the reasons because. The other reason is gotta bear in mind. Yes. I was trying to save it for when we actually get to God of War because that's also in this building. But yes. I mean, you could probably just do that with a joke, to be fair. Or a pun. Puns make me laugh. I make a shit ton. I really wish they would always just lead off at the wrong way. I don't remember what is the fuck he jump over the poly. Why did the Floki jump over the poly? Because he was croaking? I actually don't know. The Polytone went to rest. I feel like there could have been a better pun to that, because we're talking about frogs. I don't know. I mean, it was an option that was probably... Yeah, but almost everything can learn rest. And I do mean everything. The only Pokemon I can think of that doesn't learn rest is Regigigas. Because God forbid, we give Regigigas any way to get rid of Slow Start. What's the one that goes into apple? Save the apple. I think it's just the apple. But I would imagine he said this is an apple ton. Let's have an apple be a thing. I'll go into it and make it look like an apple. You used that joke already. That's kind of cheating. You already used that joke. I wouldn't say that, but understand. No, you did. Like, remember, like, the fucking Glalie that we were talking about earlier? Because he looks like an asshole. And it looks like he could eat an apple. And we were just talking about like Applin, Appleton, and Flapple. You already used that joke in a sense. What did Pikachu and Raichu say when they sneeze? Let me guess. Achoo? I don't mean to be sounding mean like that, right? But it sounds pretty obvious. And also, I'm really trying to pay attention. Like, that's not to say I want to ignore. Like, that's not to say I want to ignore what's in front of me, right? But I really feel like I should be paying more attention than I am. Oh no, you're fine. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss another shiny, like I did with Numel. Because that's what, 4 times thus far that that's happened. I really don't want it to happen with something like Walrein. I really don't. And also, I feel like I'm losing my voice a bit. You prick. The only thing I'll say, though, oh jeez, is that at the very least, we don't have too many shinies left to hunt. But as I said, most of them are going to be legendaries. But of course they are. It's only taking me like 3 minutes for soft reset. And if so, that's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting if that's the case. But then we have stuff like that where Walrein sent out first. Oh, jeez. You know what nickname I give many people with William Ash's hat? I guess. I I try not to give such obvious nicknames to my Pokemon. And I feel like I've already discussed this before. But I like giving nicknames to Pokemon that are actually... Well, I try to be more creative. Doesn't always work because it's kind of hard to think of something that already exists to be a good nickname. What's your nickname for Huawei? Good question. I do not know, actually. Mainly because I never really never really caught a Huawei in any of the games that I've played. Or at least not in recent memory. Because Wolverine is yet another Pokemon that has not been getting any sort of buffs. Or any changes for that matter. Which is a shame, because Wolverine could very well do for some buffs. I actually don't know what nickname I would give it Wolverine. How about no. I want it to be like something that would be good for a walrus. For a walrus type of Pokemon. Not just something out of the blue and just for like, oh, it's relevant, therefore it's this. Actually, I could probably make like a Zelda reference. Probably like Twilight Princess. Actually, no, Snowhead. I could just name it Snowhead. It's a dungeon in Majora's Mask. It's during the winter time of the I forgot what it's called. I don't think the area itself is called Snowhead. That's just a dungeon. Maybe it is. There's Woodfall, Great Bay, Ikana. I think it's just called Snowhead. Yeah, that'll be fine. Didn't realize the freezing would also be the biggest pain thus far. Just no need to wait, just put it to sleep. God damn. Didn't think I'd already be tired. Another thing I could think of to make it faster encounter soft resetting for the wall rain would be to just soft reset until they kind of like the main ones that I can count on the top of my head that are for the GameCube are Wind Waker. Let's see, there's Wind Waker, there's Twilight Princess, even though that's technically supposed to be for the Wii. There's Four Swords Adventure. There's like, well, there's the collection edition of Zelda, which has Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask on one disc. Oh, Master Quest. OOC Master Quest is on GameCube. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's it for Zelda GameCube games. And I'm not counting like games where Zelda characters make an appearance in, like Smash Brothers. Jesus Christ. No, it's because he's also part water. Water types are resistant to ice. Like, Water Ground has such amazing typing defensively, and also pretty good offensively. Like, its only main weakness is grass. And Swampert, being the big bulky boy that he is, can take a lot of hits, even though he doesn't have the reliable recovery that Quagsire has. Yeah, the double weakness is like the one thing that Swampert, that's like the biggest problem that Swampert has. Kind of typing do you hate because of dual double weakness? There's a lot. Like, I think my one that I hate the most is bug flying. Because there's some things that Ignite resists pretty well on its own. But man, that quad weakness to rock really makes it a pain in the ass. Especially considering that Stealth Lock became a thing in Generation 4 and pretty much make any Pokemon that would otherwise be good with, what, bug flying, ice flying, fire flying. Yeah, you're pretty much dead weight at that point because of that double weakness to rock. Oh, what's that? Your Articuno. Yeah, sorry, mate, you're actually not that useful. Stealth Rock said so. Oh, was that your Charizard? Same goes to you. You're still, even though you were decent for like 2 generations, we're gonna put you in the back burner until Generation 6 because of Stealth Rock. Oh, what about Vespiquen? That's a decent enough Pokemon. Nope, sorry, Stealth Rock. What's another one? I guess Rock and Steel. Having a quad weakness to not only ground, but fighting? Yeah, sorry, man, you're dead weight to me. And it's a shame because Aggron is a great Pokemon. It just sucks that having both Rock and Steel does it no favors defensively. What about any dual types of dragon? What about them? What, you're gonna mention dragon flying being quad weak to ice? It's mainly because ice is such a great offensive typing, yet that's the worst defensively. Like, ice is probably the worst type, if it went to one of the worst types, if it went for the fact that it's super effective on a shit ton of things. Dragon grass. Yeah, that also quad weakness to ice. That's another thing. Like, I feel like there aren't that many good dual typings that can be great, both offensively and defensively. There's only a few that are great, and even then, they're only good either defensively or offensively. What about Lucario's dual typing? Lucario's dual typing is only really good offensively. It would have been great defensively if it went to the fact that Lucario's kind of paper even after its Mega Evolution. And also you're ignoring Zamazenta, which is also steel fighting because of Rusted Shield. It's not just Lucario. Okay, I'm convinced that fucking Sneasel has fucking, has found much. I'm convinced that Sneasel has Bright Powder. No way in hell it has Snow Veil. Oh yeah, Sneasel's dual typing. Offensively is kind of neat, but defensively being quite weak to fighting is a massive detriment. I guess. But like, again, Generation 4 was kind of Lucario's debut, right? And even then, Lucario's main profile as to why he was good wasn't because of defensively, it was because of his offenses were amazing. At least for the time they were. But then power creep happens, as it always does. So long as power creep is as much of a consistent thing as it is fighting poison. For listeners easily find poison. You mean Krogunk? I know Sneasel has that typing. But Toxicroak had that in Generation 4. But even that wasn't good defensively. Being weak to not only ground, but quad weak to psychic? That ain't it, Chief. It's neat, but it's not what I would call great. Wait, did I put in the count? I did. Honestly, I feel like I'm going to keep repeating this, but it bears repeating that it bears repeating that it's 1 in 200 for a shiny Pokemon. And most of the time, I've gotten things that are over odds. So it's probably going to be a long while before I get a Walrein. And for all I know, it's probably going to be when it's off screen again, because of course it will. We're not hunting legendaries. Like, in this game's case, it might be a pain once we do get to legendaries. But like, we're not getting to that point yet. We've only started, well, not only started, but we're only halfway through. I want to say, well, probably 2/3 done with the building. And like the rest of the shadow Pokemon that I'm hunting for are legendaries. But Articuno, Zapdos, the 3 beasts, the 3 Hoenn legendaries, and that's it. There should be 1 to 100. No, I don't think it's gonna be 100. I think it's gonna be more than that because my luck sucks. It will always suck. And not at the very least, it's inconsistent. I don't think for a second that it's gonna be 1 in 100, or it's gonna take 100 attempts. No shot in hell. It could also be that it just sucks in general. No amount of Irish is going to fix this. There's no pot of gold waiting at the end of a rainbow. It's just shit. I've said the guy playing a Pokemon game. I actually can't imagine. Oh, right, you're asleep. And of course, I can't stop getting frozen. No, my name is called Chewie because I wanted a Star Wars reference. It's literally just a Star Wars reference. He might not be a hairy bastard, but he's definitely a big boy that can pack a wallop. No. If I would have named anything Han Solo, it would not be a roll raid. I guess. I mean, I I kind of stopped caring by the time Star Wars 8 and 9 came out. And by then it was kind of like, no, I don't really want this. That's bad. DC for that matter. Like, a big thing for that for me anyway is because of the oversaturation of superhero movies. There's been a shit ton of superhero content from both companies. And it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon because people just see thing and they consume thing. It's absolutely mindless. I guess, but at the same time, it's their properties. They can do what they wish with it, for the most part. And that's not a particularly good one to give an exception to. Have you even seen it? I feel like that's a bad excuse for things that is like, oh, you haven't seen it, well, so you can't judge it. I don't need to see shit to know that it's shit. Hell, there are games that I've seen that have been known to be absolutely terrible. I don't need to play it to know that it's shit. That's just my own judgment. You can like it if you want it, if you want to. I'm not stopping you from liking stuff. I'm just not interested in it. Or rather, it's not something that I like. Then again, I'm probably not the person to be asking if I like a show, because I don't watch television. I haven't for like a decade, if not more than that. This includes streaming services. And the big reason why I stopped watching television is because for every however many minutes, you have to sit your ass down and suffer through an ad. something that apparently most content creating platforms don't seem to see as a problem. Because you'll always see some kind of ads either before a video starts or before you go through a live stream. It's like, mate, I'm here to avoid watching television. Why are you treating this like it's television? I get that advertisers need to be putting stuff on there so that they can have a money flow for the platform, right? But you can do that because sponsorship. It's not necessarily sponsorships that do it, right? Because there are things that are sponsors. There are things on both platforms that aren't sponsored directly. I'm talking about just ads in general. Like, when you enter into a stream nowadays, the first thing you see before you even get to the content is an unskippable ad on Twitch. Give YouTube some credit. They at least have skippable ads you can go through. Can't do that with Twitch. Even Spotify has ads if you don't do the premium. But that's kind of the crux of using a service for free. Is that if you don't want ads, you can just pay for a premium subscription. Not saying that there isn't a purpose for it. I just think there are better ways to kind of mitigate having ads on a platform. If you're gonna have ads at all. Like, at the very least, make it so that they're not intrusive. Like, people want to get to the content. Twitch already has that. It's called subscribing to a channel. Like a monthly subscription to a channel. I'm pretty sure that's the case anyway. And the reason why they probably don't want to do that is because they want their creators to actively place ads throughout the stream. About upwards of like 3. Can't afford that. And here's another thing, right? Not only do Twitch not want to do the 70-30 that YouTube has or its other competition, you know, a better payout for the content creators, they want you, the person making content, to run more ads. Not only are the shit skippable in the first place, but they also have the goal to make it so that you have to run upwards of like 3 to 4 minutes worth of ads that are also unskippable. And it's like, people don't want to sit through 3 to 4 minutes of ads. No, that's just YouTube in general. Sometimes it'll run 2 ads at a time when you start a video. Like, it'll sometimes have 1 to 2 ads. And more often than not, you can skip them. Yeah, like, they do it like, what, 15 seconds of ads? And even then, the 15-second ones you can still skip anyway. I didn't say all the time. I said for the most part you can. Because there are ads that are 15-second ones that you can't skip. "27 seconds of, like, 42 seconds of logos." Also, you seem to be really hammering on CinemaSins. And I don't get why. Like, for real. I don't think I've seen a single person be more referential to CinemaSins. Especially considering that's not a channel that I particularly care too much of. Like, I watch this stuff every now and then. But it's like 4 times you've referenced CinemaSins, if not 5 times. I guess. What was that line that Kit says in Ultimate? Okay, I think this joke has officially run its course. That's the one. Yep. It's a good stopping point. Which I don't know. Yeah, they're not gonna do another. They're not gonna do another dual type move. The only one they've done thus far is Flying Press. Not to mention, it's a Shadow Pokemon move. They're not gonna do anything related to Shadow Pokemon after XD. Or if they do, they're just gonna half-ass it. Fucking guitars. That's River City. That's the SNES Japanese River City game. Such fantastic soundtrack. Yes, but it's not actually Shadow Pokemon like this. It's more like Team Rocket sort of thing. And they don't even use shadow moves. It's quite literally a half-assed version of what the Ori Coliseum did. In general. But even then, like, it's not a Shadow the Hedgehog. I actually like Shadow as a character. It's just a shame that he's not really done that well of justice in terms of his character. Especially not with especially not with the game that primarily focuses on him. There's like They could have done so much to actually flesh out Shadow as a character, but we never get much outside of what we already know. And how much of it they kind of half-assed in terms of his character, of his already established character. Then again, there's a lot of characters that kind of fuck up. They had no business fucking up. I mean, he kind of did have a redemption arc. It was called Sonic Adventure 2. Like, the game he was introduced in, it was like, he had a reason for his actions. It's just that he kind of ended up working with Eggman for, like, the main two stories of the game that you played through. And then the last story segment is kind of like, oh yeah, he actually remembers what his promise to Maria was. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's pretty important for his character development. And then the subsequent game with Shadow with him is like, oh, sorry, he doesn't remember a goddamn thing. Don't forget Sonic Heroes. That came out before Shadow the Hedgehog. I feel like that alone is the joke. The fact that when it was in development, not even the people who wrote the song could remember the words of the song. That's an oddly specific one to remember, I'll be honest. I mean, at that point, right, that kind of cements the fact that Sega has no excuse making the Sonic games as bad as they are, when even one person, well, for the most part, one person is able to make a better Sonic game than what Sonic Team has made. That's not really like a hot take at this point. Oh great, your sun's freezing up on me. That's not a good sign. But yes, I do think Project 06 is fantastic. But then again, you've probably already heard that it's fantastic. You've probably also seen gameplay of Project 06. And how much better it feels to play than Sonic 06 normally is. And the thing that kills me the most, more than anything, that I wish I could be as enthusiastic about Sonic as the fandom is. Especially with Sonic Frontiers, but I'm just not. I kind of take things with how I see it, and I see that Sonic Frontiers, at most, exactly. You're asking me a lot of these things, I'll be honest. Ask me a lot of what my thoughts are on certain things. Not that I particularly mind, but I am quite tired. A, I'm losing my voice. B, I don't know how long it's been. It's probably been like, yeah, it's 2.5 hours at this point. And I still haven't gotten the shiny fucking wall ring. But no, I actually do like Ready Player One a lot. Ironically enough. I understand. And I don't mean that in like a mean sense, right? It is kind of nice to actually see some goddamn activity. But at the same time, I do feel like I'm playing 20 questions, or 10 questions right now, with how much I'm being asked what my thoughts are on things. That's how he's always moved. Like, I forget. No, I didn't. Like, that's how it moved in Stadium. That's not the issue, mate. I'm just saying that I'm tired. You're more than welcome to ask me anything. But just know that I'm trying to both pay attention to you and the game so that I don't miss a goddamn thing, because I have already. Also, we switched. But no, you're more than welcome to ask me anything. I mean, you might as well call it a day. I might just do that, honestly. Wayne's not... I cannot speak today. Wayne's not giving me any sort of leeway whatsoever. Watch, as soon as I end the stream, that's when I get the shiny wall raid. Because it always happens on long hunts like this. Always happens. No. I mean, I know we keep talking about stuff, but like, it's not really a complaint on my end. After all, it is a stream. You're supposed to be interacting with the people that are in here. I think it's more like he's trying everything in his power to spew out water. water that he likely has in his beak. Get tired of getting frozen. You know what I might end up doing instead? I might just say fuck it to the wall rain, because the freezing doesn't help. The fact that it's I'm talking about see fanboys that I guess huh. Wouldn't go for giving up on it. I don't want to either. I really don't. But Walreign's a Pokemon that I don't really think I'm going to be using in this playthrough. Because I do plan on team building at like the later parts of the game. The freezing isn't the problem. The problem is how much time each soft reset is. And also because I still have 2 other Pokemon that can also be shiny, being the problem here. Why not? So what do we even have scheduled for today? Because I have to prep for an exam. And I also have to do fucking extra. Studying implies that I'm prepping for an exam anyway. I'm tired. try and find. Oh, jeez. Eh. I, well, I'm probably gonna end it very soon, though. Then again, it's probably just as seamless because I'm not distracted. Still not helping the fact that I have to deal with hail, to deal with the fact that Toyster's constantly protecting, making it longer than it needs to be. And the fact that wall rain's all the way in the back. Did I don't remember if I put it. I did not. Okay. I mean, I was busy fun with it, that's why you were distracted. Understandable, but still. I mean, if you have stuff you gotta do, you're more than welcome to head to tend to it. We kind of have stuff that we gotta do regardless. So I'd rather not hold you up if you gotta do stuff. It wasn't that big of a problem. It's not about it being a problem. It's about the fact that I'd rather not hold people up like that if they got stuff they need to do. It has nothing to do with it being a problem, right? Suppose. What's the think so, yeah. Oh boy. I didn't mention the cross screen. I mean, if I do find it off screen, it's most likely going to be either very late in the evening when I'm done studying, or like the next day, as it seems to be the case. Or it could just very well be during the weekend. Or it could take longer than that. So remember, RNG fucking sucks. Now I am hoping that it doesn't take longer than this. I really hope it doesn't. Yup, that joke has officially run its course, mate. It's just annoying at this rate. Not to be rude. But, yeah. It stopped being funny after the second time. Looks like this fucking cloister run its fucking course protecting. My god, is it annoying. I know, but it's the internet. You never really know. You never really know in this landscape. It's the internet. Someone's probably gonna take something as rude when they didn't mean to. Because it is speaking through text, it's hard to interpret exactly what the mood is without being very specific. That's why I mentioned that. Ain't no fucking Karen. You don't have to be a Karen. I'm just saying people can sometimes misunderstand. You don't have to be a Karen to act like that, to try to misunderstand stuff like that, or to see it as one thing when someone meant another. Grandma named Karen. I'm sure it wasn't at all intentional because Karen has only been as much of a meme as it is because of how people kind of behave like that. And you'll especially get that if you work with either food or retail, and it fucking sucks. It really, really sucks. Figures. That tends to be the case as well. It's all I gotta say to that is again, it's the internet. Did I not? No, I did. I did not mean to do that. That shit hurts. Lately. But no, that's just a sound effect for whenever anything goes to sleep. It's not just lately. And I do mean everything that gets put to sleep. You will hear that sound effect. Ah, yes, the old copy paste meme. Actually, oh no. Which one I had? Yes, I didn't. Okay. Yes, I didn't. But I think this might actually be when I end stream. 90, it's a good number. It's a good round number to end off. And of course, it frees me. God damn it. Oh. Constitution that fiends for taking across the world. Yes. 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 Okay. Yeah, I normally don't. And they keep mentioning probably because I always do. I don't want to do things that's more than 3 hours if I can help it. Mostly because that's the amount of energy that I tend to spend, and it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that I wish you could see it. That the previous ones that I did were the JoJo starters. Guess what? Those JoJo starters, with the exception of Pokémon, didn't take me that long. Lapras didn't in hindsight. Neither did Dragonair. But that's kind of what I'm saying with RNG. It sucks a lot of chunks. And I bet you as soon as I'm done going into off screen, I'm gonna find one of the shinies. May not be a Walrein. I know there's 3 other Pokemon. 2 other Pokemon, excuse me. Well, honestly, I don't really have that many other streams. Because I only started streaming this year. Otherwise, I've done pretty much just normal ass playthroughs. But yes, I will be going to sleep. Or at the very least, getting dinner. That's about it. Fuck.